Hi.
Mr. Jerry Ascencio we have here. You kicked off the entire event this morning. Again, this is KQCK Live. Tom Diller and Mark Windsor here at the NAHREP event.
National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals.
Absolutely. And we are pleased that you came and sat down with us. So introduce yourself and tell us how things are going so far.
Thank you so much. We want to send out a greeting, a big shout out to everybody in Arizona that's listening, that's on the airwaves right now, that's listening to the message, which is a message of empowerment. It's great to make sure that message gets out, and it's glad to share a couple moments and a couple of ideas.
Absolutely. Now, I've got a pin that's almost like yours, but yours has a crown on there. Why did I get the crown on my pin? I don't have gold nuggets on there, or
well, actually, Tom, that's a great question. There are only 7 pins like this, and these are the 7 chairs that we've had that follow. I am the 7th chair for N.A.H.R.E.P. We're a 12-year-old organization, a 501c6 national organization representing 20,000 real estate professionals from all walks of real estate.
Right.
We're not specific to the realtor community only. So if it's a lender that wants to service the Hispanic community, there's a place for you.
Or one of us attorneys?
I guess now that you're in,
some of you guys
gonna pay extra.
Yeah. No. Actually, attorneys are a very crucial part, especially in certain states. And so
I have joined, by the way.
Okay.
So
well, I'm glad
they allowed me to join.
Well, and welcome and bienvenido is what I have to say about that. We do need our attorneys. We do need our legal counsel in-house. Bienvenido. Because you know what? The complexity of the real estate transaction today is one where we really need to turn to you. And here at N.A.H.R.E.P, it really comes together. If you're a title representative, a professional, come in. If you're an attorney, absolutely, bienvenido. If you're a loan professional, if you're a real estate professional, if you're a home inspector, if you're an appraiser, all these people every one of these professionals are connected to the real estate transaction, which has become very complex, but which the Hispanic consumer will be the driver of in the next 10 years. And that's what the big discussion is about. It's about the new mega Hispanic market.
Our law firm, by the way, probably 70% of our clientele is Hispanic.
Felicidades.
We do a lot of immigration, but because of that, we get spillover. We do a lot of bankruptcy, a lot of foreclosure, a lot of short sell, and now we're seeing business startups, by the way. That tells me a little bit about the economy.
That's outstanding.
We're for example, we just have a large client now opening a number of franchises that they were operating in Mexico, and now they're coming here. And so that tells us that now is a good time for the economy to turn a little bit and make some money where so many people have been losing money.
I absolutely agree with that. And funny that you start out with the word immigration, because we, I think, are the only trade organization in the nation that went with our 6 points to Washington, D.C. and went up to the Hill and said, number 6, you need to have a comprehensive immigration reform.
Yes, we do.
The system is broken. It does not work. And we need to bring the people out of the shadows and allow them to become a mainstream part of America. And there's tax revenue there, and there's absolutely a lot of consumerism that is going to happen. There are new businesses, new entrepreneurs that will pop up and will come out of the woodwork. So all that discussion is something that we took to the Hill with great excitement to see where that was going.
You know, I've done a number of shows on immigration. Now, my personal practice is more business law and estate planning. Although I've done a lot of bankruptcy over the last 5 years and a lot of short sales, a lot of that. But because my partner and some of the other attorneys do so much immigration, I'm naturally involved in it. And so I've done a number of shows on it, and it's very sad, really. And I'm caught in a position to where I certainly can see where we as a country, we must seal a border, we must have better rules to keep the bad guys out. I mean, it makes no sense that we just let everybody in. But you'd be amazed at how many stories I have of those who were brought here at age 1, age 2, age 3. They've lived here for years. They have no real connections to the country that they left, whether it's Mexico or Guatemala or whatever. Right? They've been here all their lives. They may hear stories, but they don't know people there. Their lives are intertwined. Yet they get locked up and deported. I had one. She had a 2-year-old baby. She was brought here when she was about 2 years, but her baby was born here, right? Locked up, being deported. Sad. Our system's broken.
The system is broken, and you're speaking to an actual immigrant from Michoacan, Mexico, because my parents brought me here at the age of 6 months. And so, you know, my recollection of the earlier years are here in California. I grew up in the San Fernando Valley, and I'll tell you, the immigrant community, whether you speak today of the Hispanic community, there's been a recent coverage regarding the Asian American influx of immigrants, but also people from Africa and people from the Middle East and people from other places. We certainly want to make sure that America is safeguarded. We certainly want to protect those borders. We certainly don't want to put America in harm's way. But we also want to make sure that we don't leave unprecedented opportunity on the table. Opportunity that includes cultural diversity, opportunity that includes advancement of micro businesses and the establishment and the opening up of more jobs. Because as you know, one of the biggest employers, if not the biggest in the nation, are small businesses and micro businesses. And that's what the Hispanic community is all about, advancing to make sure that everyone in the community is employed and becomes part of the American solution.
Yeah, in fact, 4 or 5 years ago, when the market was just starting to tank, and at the same time we had, well, I won't say which sheriff, but right when that was
Big
hitting,
J.
when those things were hitting at the same time, market was going down, a lot of pressure from Sheriff Arpaio. I saw a great increase in the number of my clients coming in, Hispanic business owners who just couldn't keep their doors open anymore. They were losing business because of the economy. They were losing business because their patrons were being deported. They were losing business because their patrons were afraid and were leaving, and it was killing their business, which then in turn left a landlord with a vacant space, which in turn made that landlord hard
default.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Big
spiral
effect. It has such an
Yeah.
impact on our community, and I am very conservative, but on those issues I differ so much with some of the far right wingers, and I differ with the far left wingers as well. It is just unfortunate that people can't put calm heads together, come up with some nice solutions that takes care of those who are already here, takes care of our borders. It doesn't seem that complicated to me, you know?
Right. And you know what? It's funny that you mentioned that. Right wingers, left wingers, why don't we all just come together and get a common sense approach to fixing a system that's broken?
Yes.
I mean, my kids, my 3 kids, all 3 of them perform mariachi music. And one of the few times that we've come here to Arizona as a family is to the Tucson International Mariachi Festival. And I will tell you, 3 years ago when we came to it, we still found a vibrant community. And just a year later, we went back and the same businesses that we shopped at, they were closed.
Right.
They were boarded up in downtown Tucson. So I know the kind of impact, the kind of unintended consequences that legislation and other things of that nature can bring to a community, because you're ripping out at the core, at the heart of that community. So again, getting back to the Hispanic demographic, we are very optimistic. We're expecting another 12 million households to be opening up in the next 10 years. And of that 12 million, 40% of those will become will come from the Hispanic demographic.
Yes.
We have more families. We have larger families. Our birth rate is incredible. Our new level of household formation is incredible. But the other important thing is our purchasing power. Our purchasing power is going from $1.1 trillion, which is about where we're at, in an upward mobility of about 50% that's expected in the next 48 months to 5 years to go up to $1.6 trillion. So you may think, you know, how are you doing that? How is that increase? And it's an increase by the sheer numbers. Because of the sheer numbers, we're a younger demographic. We're at least 10 or more years younger than the rest of the general market. And we're just going into our good years of financial productivity. We're just going into our good years of being able to secure a good education, a good job, a good salary, good positions, and then being able to bring that back to the communities of America. So what's good for the Hispanic community is good for America.
Yeah, and the communities are, it seems to me, again, working in a law firm where we do a lot of the immigration. In fact, we're doing right now a lot of appointments on the Obama's DREAM Act announcement. Doing a lot, in fact, free appointments. So you should get that word out.
That's good to know. Where would they go for that information? I'd like you to repeat that.
Free consultations on Obama's announcement about the DREAM Act application. The application should be out within a few weeks. We're doing free consultations on how to prepare for that. they would contact me, Mark Windsor. You can email me at mwindsor@windsortirado.com, WINSORTIRADO.com, or you just call my office, 480-505-7044. That's the main number to my Mesa office, and we'll get you in contact. But that's an important thing that people need to realize, that if they jump on board and take advantage of that now, before the politics sways and takes it away, right?
Very true.
They can find themselves in a unique, lucky position.
There's a window of opportunity.
Really
the time
is.
to take action is now.
It's
really today. For those that are listening, I mean, you've just heard where you can get free information, free consultation on how to properly document the situation and make sure that you don't miss it. The little window of opportunity has been opened. We can't predict what's going to happen tomorrow, but we can certainly try to maximize the opportunity that today represents.
So what I was going to say is, with this involvement that I have, I do my gringo business a lot, but I work closely with Rafael that does the Hispanic business. And what I'm seeing, because I'm now working more and more with his clientele, I'm seeing that these two different communities really are becoming intertwined, and it's hard to separate them, really. Because we no longer have just pockets of Hispanic communities. With the internet, in fact, I read a report that the Hispanic-speaking community really, they're the number one, they're the top
consumers.
Users of smartphones.
Yes, they are.
Did you know that?
Yeah, we just heard about that through Inman News.
That is taking our communities and meshing them together. And that's what America's all about now, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And we're connecting through the back end, and through the smartphones, and through the internet, and through the World Wide Web. We're able to form a different community, a different nucleus that otherwise would not be possible. And we're connecting people from Arizona with people from New York, with people back in their home country of Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, wherever their family's original. Filipinos, see?
I actually employ 3 Filipinos.
Got it.
That they help with my internet, and one of them helps with my accounting a little bit.
That's fantastic.
So, my websites and stuff.
So my commendations to what you're doing and what your law firm is doing for the Hispanic community.
Our pleasure.
I hope that opportunity does not go unused.
We are busy, but I do hope the word gets out better. I don't think the word is out very well about the free consultations yet, but we do want to get as many as possible educated, because this window won't stay open forever. By the way, I just this was my first trip to Costa Rica a few months ago.
Costa Rica.
That was a fun trip.
I hear it's beautiful. I've not had the opportunity to see Costa Rica.
It was so beautiful. Around the volcano area, Arenal, with the waterfalls, and it was just incredible.
Wow.
Good
and
trip.
many places to visit in Latin and South America and Latin America, but there's only one place we call home, and that is America, right back here.
That's exactly
for
right.
me, it's Los Angeles, California. That's my backyard, and for you here in Phoenix, Arizona. So it's very exciting.
I've moved so much, I claim the United States as a whole, because I have moved so much.
You paint with a broad brush.
And we're probably, I don't want to use the word stuck, but we're probably stuck here because we're now so entrenched with everything. But I'm grateful for, this station, KQCK, and I just started a new station, KVLS, K Values Radio. Because of the internet, I can travel and broadcast from wherever we are, and it hits all. We get calls when we do our show, and we have an open call line. We get calls from
Chicago, Hawaii, New York the other day.
Canada.
All over the place. Canada. Canadians calling in about investing in Arizona. So absolutely. So the reach is just tremendous.
It's an incredible reach that we now have. In fact, we completely dropped the AM about a year or so ago because the reach was so small and the internet reach was so large.
Right. And today I think we can all agree that we are.
Yeah.
It is a worldwide
even
economy.
on the radio.
Right, even on the radio. And the messaging should go out, and there are audiences in Canada and abroad, overseas, and different places that have their eye on Arizona that may want to purchase a prime piece of Arizona real estate today.
Yeah, in fact, just last week we had a real estate agent, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, and she was saying that, we were talking about how the reach was so broad. She says, "Oh yeah, but I just do it here," and the phone rang. It was a Canadian.
Yep. And she's like, "Oh, we do those." I'm like, "Well, that's why you're on the radio show, because Arizona is a wonderful market to buy. I mean, with rates in the 3s, the values here are just tremendous. This is a great time to buy. I mean, it's a seller's market and it's a buyer's market. Doesn't happen too often.
Yes.
Doesn't happen too often like that.
Well,
so.
I usually tell my clients when interest rates are low, prices are high. When prices are low, interest rates are high.
Right.
Today, you have the perfect storm.
Exactly.
It's a phenomenon.
Right.
It's like El Nino for those of us that are
Yeah.
fishermen. You know, now's the time to catch that big tuna.
Right.
And the opportunity is now, and the time to take action is when the emotion is strong and the idea is hot.
Absolutely.
Now, we've talked about the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals, and now I want to talk about you. I know you've been the president of that organization, but what do you do when you're not running that organization?
That's a great question. I'm actually a real estate practitioner broker, a broker veteran of 25 years. I'm a California broker, a GRI, a CRS, an N.A.H.R.E.P, a DREO, an AREO, everything
all the O's.
Other than RESPECT is behind my name. And what that means is my whole life has been dedicated to real estate. I live, breathe, and think real estate every day. I represent families. I represent families that are underwater, that are facing hard decisions, such as short sale situations, having to walk away from the house, cutting their losses, going through distress, going through true hardships, divorce situations. I dabble a little bit also within probate. And so that, where we are all a prospect of that, is we all have a life cycle that comes to an end. But my office is based in the San Fernando Valley in the city of San Fernando. We're San Fernando Realty and Mission Real Estate. And we've been serving there proudly for the last 18 years. Opened it up in 1993. Would never look back to do anything else. Because nothing compares to delivering one set of keys to one family that has high aspirations and hopes of spending their next Christmases there, their next Easters, their next birthdays, their next anniversaries, their next quinceañeras, and all of the above.
And we probably have listeners from there today.
Absolutely.
Most days we do. Tuned into our station.
So a shout out to all my California friends that are tuning in and listening in. Saludos desde Arizona, desde Phoenix.
This is Mark Windsor, Tom Diller, broadcasting live from the Phoenician, the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professional Convention, and our guest,
Gerardo Jerry Ascencio.
Thank you. It has been very much my pleasure to have you join us today.
It's good seeing you again.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Fantastic. You gentlemen are pros, no doubt, huh? That was fun.